I will use this opportunity to begin a comparison of two of the common maples found in the area covered by this channel. Common in many ways, they're found in most states in the eastern United States. And the one on my left, the red maple, that's some raindrops coming down. You see that streak there? That's not what color the bark would be. We're getting a little bit of light rain today, so that's water dripping down the tree. But the the red maple grows in swamps. It grows on hillsides. It'll grow just about anywhere. So it's an opportunist and not a specialist. A jack of all trades, as you will. Right next to it in this particular habitat, we have a plant that does require a fairly well-drained, moist soil, and this is the sugar maple. Both have a fairly smooth bark at this point in their age. Neither one of these trees is more than 4 or 5 inches in diameter, but there is a slight difference in the color of the bark. The sugar maple, if you think of sugar maple syrup or sugar maple candy, it's got that brownish hue, and this bark has more of a brownish hue than its neighbor here, the red maple. The red maple is just a little bit more gray in color at this age. They both get more of a platy bark as they get older, and I can make record some examples of that as the situations allow. But they're both growing here in a fairly flat area, but it is not a poorly drained flat area. If this were wet for many months of the year, the sugar maple would not survive. And while I've got this video on, I'm going to compare the leaves, which are easier to tell apart than the bark itself. There's a pretty big difference in the leaves. The sugar maple is on the right, and the notches between the lobes are round. And the red maple on the left, the notches between the lobes come to a V shape. So that is one way to tell them apart. But in the wintertime, the hue of this bark, the slightly tan or brown hue of the sugar maple will distinguish it from the red maple. Also, the habitat in which it grows. And I'm also noticing there's a little bit more red on the stalk of the leaf of the red maple on the left than the sugar maple on the right. So that's what we have here. These are very common trees. You will find these on just about any hike you do in the eastern United States, except at very high elevations.